Concentrated animal feeding operations, or CAFOs, are agricultural meat, dairy, or egg facilities where animals are kept and raised in confinement. The purpose of CAFOs is to maximize meat, dairy, and egg production while keeping costs as low as possible. These facilities produce large amounts of greenhouse gas emissions that pollute the air and trap the sun's heat in our atmosphere. These gases are produced by degrading manure and the livestock's digestive process. Residing in states such as Iowa, which contains nearly 4,000 CAFOs, there are more than 21,000 CAFOs in America alone. These facilities produce about 70% of cows, 98% of pigs, and 99% of chickens and turkeys of all America's livestock. This results in over 90% of all the livestock in the U.S. being exposed to CAFOs. This produces about 335 million tons of manure, which can be very harmful to the environment and to human health.
Negative human effects of CAFO consumption include antibiotic resistance, because of the antibiotics used on the animals to prevent disease. So when this is consumed by humans, it develops antibiotic-resistant bacteria in the human body. Another negative effect is contaminants through E. coli and Salmonella. Nutritional quality is another human effect. This is because CAFOs will have different nutritional profiles compared to pasture-raised animals. They will usually have higher levels of unhealthy fats and lower levels of beneficial fatty acids. Keeping aware is important because CAFOs not only directly impact humans, but also indirectly impact us by affecting the environment through water, air, and soil, but also socially through a community based on location. Another factor is money. Money affects property values and viability of family-owned farms. CAFOs also provide psychological stress with the combination of health concerns, environmental degradation, and economic pressures.
CAFOs induce adverse effects on their surrounding environments as they pose threats to species within close proximity to such sites. According to the CDC, CAFOs contribute to more than 7% of all greenhouse gas emissions in the United States. Such emissions are the result of anaerobic decomposition of livestock manure and digestive processes which emit 23 times as much methane and 33 times as much nitrous oxide and carbon dioxide, ultimately contributing to the negative effects of the greenhouse effect, global climate change, and humanity's carbon footprint. In addition, CAFOs contribute to water contamination as a result of the runoff of excess nutrients from lagoons and pharmaceuticals that were utilized to enhance livestock production. Animal cultivation in the United States generates manure annually, whose waste contaminants enter surrounding ecosystems by means of leakage and contribute to the harmful effects of eutrophication, which is the buildup of excess nutrients that depletes water sources of oxygen, as well as biomagnification of such contaminants, adversely affecting species that live in such ecosystems and causing many die-offs.
Since CAFOs contain so many animals in extremely confined spaces, the limited space of living provided for each animal can result in serious health risks. Animals are kept in packed feeding lots, deprived of all vegetation, for at least 45 days a year. As a result, pests like rats, flies, and other parasites are extremely viable, and therefore so is disease. To combat this, animals are fed antibiotics and a multitude of growth hormones that harm their immune systems and other bodily functions. CAFOs also negatively affect species living around the setups as well. In 2016, there were over 20,000 separate CAFOs in the U.S. The raising of livestock uses a large amount of land, combined with the land cleared to grow their feed. As a result, an extreme amount of native ecosystems are cleared out to be replaced with agriculture. This destroys habitat and decreases biodiversity, weakening the native species. Waste and other artificial agricultural chemicals also directly infiltrate the water and food of local organisms, which has serious health effects. This includes previously mentioned dead zones in local waters.
Some big corporations that utilize CAFOs are Smithfield, which creates bacon and pork products, Tyson Foods, which creates chicken nuggets and other ground chicken products, and Cargill, which creates meat, dairy, and egg products. As you can see, these companies may sound pretty familiar to you, and this goes to show that a harmful process like this can very easily be hiding in plain sight, and that is why it is very important to become aware.
Some alternatives in CAFOs are identified as organic, humanly raised, grass-fed, pasture-based, and free-range. Although research is limited, previous studies have shown that production costs may actually lower in some of these alternative systems than in CAFOs. To avoid CAFO meat, find a farm in your area that raises animals on a pasture. Buy meat and eggs from farmers markets or directly from small family farms, and eat fewer meat, dairy, and egg products. Choose foods sourced by farms that raise animals in unconfined settings, using agricultural practices that improve ecosystem health and prioritize animal welfare.